What's up, guys? Welcome to the Line Change. In this video, we're going to be going over and asking how will Conor Garland perform this upcoming season. We're going to go over an article that talks about his goals and expectations in 2025-26. And then at the end, I'm going to have a bold prediction when it comes to Conor Garland and how he will perform this upcoming season. But as I always do, I'd like to start off this video by thanking my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of that amazing artwork you see over my shoulder right there. And you guys can check them out yourselves at gassjackart.com. You guys can also find him on Instagram at gassjackart. I have a link to his website in the description down below. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article written by our friends at Canucks Army. This article is written by Ethan Van Dop. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And he goes on to say, with the departure of key offensive players, including the likes of JT Miller, Pius Suter, and Dakota Joshua, the Vancouver Canucks will no doubt be forced to rely on other players to take on bigger roles throughout the lineup during the 2025-26 season. The losses of JT Miller and Pius Suter in particular will undoubtedly hurt the team offensively. Suter ranked 4th in goals on the Canucks, while Miller ranked 5th in assists before being traded away. These players' departures only open the door for other players to step up and fill said offensive void, and that sets up well for Conor Garland to become a more relied upon offensive asset for the Vancouver Canucks. Any Canucks fan witnessed what Garland provides more than just what is shown on the stat sheet. His tenacity and effort levels bring immense value to the team, even in games where he is held pointless. But with more ice time, a new contract, and a larger role, the question has to be asked, what can we expect of Conor Garland this season? Let's take a look at what meeting expectations would be. And that would be finishing around the 50-point total and solidify a top 6 role. Garland had 50 points in 81 games last season, the second highest point total he has achieved in his career. In addition, the winger also set a career high in time on ice per game and game-winning goals. While this level of point production is consistent with what Garland has put up throughout his career, the onus is on him to provide more offensive production for the team in the upcoming season. However, it wasn't all perfect for Garland last season, as he had numerous stretches where he was held without a point, something he will be expected to improve on this season as his contract extension kicks in. After finishing 3rd in goals and 4th in points on the team in 24-25, there's no reason Garland can improve on those totals with added ice time. In his 4 seasons in Vancouver, Garland has met the 50-point threshold twice, while falling just short in the other 2 seasons. With additional ice time and a larger role on the team, it seems fair to expect Garland can get to 20 goals, as last season he only missed that mark by 1 goal. For Garland to meet expectations and even possibly surpass them, he should focus on building chemistry with his new line mates and capitalizing on the opportunities given to him. There's a very good chance Garland sticks on the second line for the entire season, and he may even see some top unit power play minutes throughout the season. According to Daily Faceoff, Garland is projected to play on the right side on the line with Filipino and Evander Kane. If Garland can build on last season, and if Chytil can stay healthy, this line could be a key source of secondary scoring. With Garland and Chytil driving much of the play, not to mention if Kane can regain some of his offensive touch a season after missing an entire year with injury. Let's take a look at what exceeding expectations would look like, which is 20-plus goals, 60-plus points, and securing a spot on the first unit power play. Garland has notoriously been a 40 to 50-point player in his career, but with Canucks in dire need of secondary scoring, there's no better time than now for Garland to have a breakout season, and he'll have plenty of opportunity to do so. Daily Faceoff has the former 5th-round pick currently projected to be on the second line power play, but if last season was indicative of anything revolving around the power play formation, Garland will likely be given every chance to retain his spot on the first unit. One of Garland's best attributes is his puck retrievals, which give him a distinct advantage over other players on the Canucks roster. Sure, DeBrusk, Besser, Hughes, and Pettersson have top-tier shots, but you need someone to feed them the puck, and that's where Garland can solidify his spot on the first unit power play. If the chips fall in place for Garland, 60-plus points could be a realistic outcome for him. Let's take a look at what below expectations would be, and that is failing to remain a 0.50 point per game. By Garland standards, this point pace would be a significant dip from his career numbers with 291 points in 485 games. Garland's career point per game is a 0.6, a dip to under 0.50 points per game. 41 points would be a massive step back when you consider the opportunity he has next season. With the Canucks ever so desperate for offense and with Garland receiving a pay raise this offseason, these numbers just won't cut it anymore. For Garland to be a difference maker, he has to at least exceed this pace. Alongside Jake DeBrusk, Brock Besser, and Elias Pettersson, Garland will be relied upon as one of the team's top forwards. If Garland fails to reach the 50-point threshold, it would be a big disappointment for a Canucks team where offense may be hard to come by. Heading into training camp, Garland's focus should be on developing chemistry with his projected teammates, or line mates rather, which will be key in Garland getting off to a good start offensively and hopefully using that momentum through the rest of the season to surpass these expectations. So that is Canucks Army's goals and expectations for Conor Garland for this upcoming season. Now let's get into my bold predictions for Conor Garland, as well as my own goals and expectations for Conor Garland. I'm going to echo what the exceeding expectations column is, and I have to say I really think Conor Garland is going to come up big this year for a number of reasons. It's like what was mentioned in the article. He just signed a new extension, so obviously that is not that it was a hindrance on him this last season, but he knows that he's here for the long run, and I think that is going to help put a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And I do believe he's going to finish with 25 goals and maybe just under 60 points. I might actually, you know what? I originally was going to say he's going to have 25 goals and 33 assists, 58 points. But I'm going to go ahead and switch that up and say he's going to hit 25 goals and 40 assists. So he's going to have 60-plus points. And he will, in fact, secure a spot on the first unit power play. And I could even see him making a few stints on the first line, playing with Petey, as well as either Brock Besser or Jake DeBrusk. So that is my prediction, bold prediction, if you will. Now, I did do a bold prediction video recently, and I left out Conor Garland on that one. I watched it back and I realized I left out Conor Garland, so I didn't really make a bold prediction for Conor Garland. That video you guys can check out right here. But yeah, so there's my bold prediction for Conor Garland. I think he's going to have 60-plus points and 25 goals. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think how Conor Garland will perform this upcoming season? What are your goals and expectations for Conor Garland in 2025-26? And also, what are your bold, or they don't even have to be bold, what are your predictions for how Conor Garland will perform? Once again, let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can find and interact with us on social media. On Facebook, just search our Facebook page. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X at Line Change Van. And you can find us on TikTok at The TLC Podcast. You guys can also find us on Blue Sky at The Line Change. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. If you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And on Spotify, feel free to give us a follow as well as rate and reviews. It is, of course, greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the podcast, in particular on Spotify. But that's going to do it for me in this video. As always, let's go Canucks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.